So we got ICE is arresting illegals on the farms. Play this clip.
Because we had a chance to talk to, told us ICE agents arrived this morning here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know how many people were detained. One of the farm workers we spoke said, talked to, said ICE agents were chasing some of their co-workers around until they were detained. One of the workers described what he saw when they arrived to work this morning, and another one was talking about just the anxiety that how it is coming to work, not knowing if, in fact, Ventura County was going to be a target again for ICE agents. The sentiment here was they couldn't believe what they were seeing, but then again, they thought, not surprised that ICE agents were here. Now, in a statement released earlier today, because we had a chance to talk.
I gotta say, first of all, I know this is probably not what was happening, but when he pops up in that hoodie and his head's on a swivel and he's looking around right at the time when that reporter's saying they're feeling anxiety because they don't know who might show up at the farm, I would feel a little anxiety too. I mean, I'm out there, plucking soybeans and bam, there it is. Look at this guy just looking around. I mean, you got one guy just kind of paying attention to everything, seeing who. Like, well, we weren't sure if they're going to show up. I mean, they're picking with one hand. They look down at the crop and then they look up to scan the horizon to see if ICE is on the way. I mean, this is the world we're living in, right? This is the world we're living in under. How do you even say it at this point? I mean, if you're illegal, if you're in this country illegally, and, whoever runs these farms, whoever is employing these people needs to be held accountable. Again, there have been no consequences. There's no consequences for progressive policy. There's no consequences for GOP rhinos. There's no consequences for Democrats and politicians who run these policies out there. There's been no consequences for an open border policy, which has led to the loss of life already. There's literally blood on the hands of the Biden administration because of their federal bills and their policies and all of the things that they did. I mean, they're arresting people out here. There should be consequences for all of these things because we chose not to believe in law and order. We chose not to believe in borders. We believed because of academia, because of the media, and because of progressive politics, we believed that using, the right terminology to describe something has been politically incorrect, and therefore we should be labeled as, hate mongers because we chose to tell the dadgum truth. And so now you have a humanitarian crisis. We've had it for years, but now you're going to see this thing played out in full color, in 4K, on your screens, both small and large, and you're going to see these people who are going to receive more suffering. There's going to be more anxiety. That was the word that reporter used. I feel more anxiety going to work. Well, you shouldn't have been here in this situation, and you should have never been hired in that situation. And I want to go back and say something that I've said ad nauseum, and that is this. This is not a Democrat problem. This is a Democrat and Republican problem. They're both at fault for this right here. Democrats wanted to replace voter blocks. They wanted to have illegals come in here so they could have voters and win elections. Republicans, GOP, they wanted to have cheap labor. There's no other way around it, no other way to cut it. They're all at fault on this deal. And they can get out there in the streets, these protesters, rioters, whatever you want to call them. And they could say all day long, well, California used to belong to Mexico. Yeah, and Mexico used to belong to Aztlan, or however you say it, the Aztecs. I don't even know. Somebody always belonged to something else, right? Some place always belonged to another people. It always did. And you can say, well, California used to belong, and Texas used to belong to Mexico. Well, here's the deal. If you had Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, you know what you'd be trying to do? You'd be trying to walk your brown ass into Oklahoma and live there because you're going to continue with your ideology and your philosophy and your worldview, your Weltanschauung, if you really want to get into the philosophy of it. You're going to continue to create failed states.